So celebrations continue for Royal Challengers Bengaluru and their fans after lifting the IPL trophy back to back times. And Rajat Patidar, of course, has etched his name in the history books of IPL, becoming the third captain to achieve this feat, lifting the trophy consecutive times after MS Dhoni and Rohit Sharma. So for RCB fans, it's like a dream after waiting for 18 years for one single IPL trophy. They have gone twice now. So lots of happy memories for RCB in this IPL. But we'll try to talk about all the points from this IPL. We'll try to review it thoroughly, beat the goods, beat the bads. And let's start. Bharat is here. Vaibhav and Rohit will join soon. Bharat, of course, the biggest positive has to be RCB and their season. How do you sum it up? How do you sum this season up? A complete team, perhaps. They have dominated this IPL, beat the league stage, beat the playoffs, and of course the final also.
Yeah, it was a collective performance. You can see the Player of the Match awards won by RCB players. I guess everyone has won, at least almost everyone has won a Player of the Match, including
Mm.
Jacob Duffy. It could be a lot of players, maybe 8, 9, 10 players have won Player of the Match awards. That's an indicator of the collective performance that we saw, even in terms of the reserve strength. If Hazelwood missed out somewhere, Jacob Duffy did well in a game or two. If someone else missed out, there is another player coming into the equation. If, for example, Abhinandan Singh struggled, there is always Rasikh Salam to come in and take a lot of wickets. So I think the collective performance was the key to their success. Even if you look at how they bowled at the Narendra Modi Stadium with a lot of bounce around, bowlers like Rasikh Salam, even Bhuvaneshwar Kumar were not supposed to take wickets on a track with bounce. But even there, Rasikh Salam took wickets, got wickets with short balls. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well. That again is an indicator of the kind of effort that they put in. Someone like Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is not exactly known for snapping his back and hitting the deck hard, but he did that in this IPL alongside obviously using that verbal seam. And obviously, not much to say about Virat Kohli when they really needed him. He stepped up again with that master class of an innings. And obviously, you will think about Krunal Pandya. Who knows? The RCB fans might build a statue for him somewhere near the Chinnaswamy Stadium because they seem to be so happy about Krunal Pandya. I'm pretty sure they will build a statue for him soon. And Rajat Patidar, obviously, very calm captain and a superb player against both pace and spin, not just against spin. And you can't really, I don't think you can describe in words how Bhuvaneshwar Kumar performed right through the season. And obviously, you have to give credit to the management. See, if you look at Andy Flowers' coaching
Yeah,
record, if franchise cricket, international cricket, barring that Ashes debacle, one Ashes debacle in
yeah,
2013-14, there's very little blemish in his coaching record. Mo Babat, I think, whatever press conferences I've attended, he looks like again very calm-headed fellow, a calm-headed guy, coach, and some mentor, and also someone who I think has scouted quite a few players, and Dinesh Karthik. Everyone, including Omkar Salvi, always goes under the radar. I think if you look at the bowling performance from the RCB setup this season, it tells a story in itself. So it was a collective performance. Yes, they had the right kind of players, but they still have to execute their plans. Even if you look at their catching percentage, I think they were number one even in that respect. They hardly dropped a catch. It was one side that hardly dropped a catch. Maybe their catching percentage was around 90%. The way Tim David took that catch in that game against Gujarat Titans encapsulates the
yes,
point. And yes, last but not the least, I also have to mention their fans. They're also one of the major stakeholders in RCB's victory in some way or the other. They're passionate fans, especially when they play at the Chinnaswamy. The kind of support they get is something that is, I think, it's a sight to behold. One has to see to understand the kind of support they get. And yesterday too, inside the mall or just outside the mall, fans were taking some sticks and smashing into the tables out there, whatever tables they were getting. One fan almost tried to kiss the big screen. These things you ended up seeing. So obviously on the streets too, they try to really show their passion. Obviously, it didn't exactly work out that way for them because of the kind of heavy police,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of police personnel that were around. But still, they are also one of the major stakeholders. So it is basically collective performance, right from the players, the coaching staff. I would say I would add their fans as well.
Yeah, you can see the visuals from last night in Bengaluru. Despite heavy police protection, fans were on the street trying to celebrate as much as they can. And there were some restrictions, but nonetheless they managed to create some environment at least on the streets of Bengaluru. And that's what Virat Kohli said also in the post match presentation, that we don't play RCB don't play 7 home games, they play 14 home games. And I have also repeatedly said that. I have covered a lot of matches, and nowhere there has not been a single stadium where I have not seen an RCB jersey. Be it a neutral match, be it India match, test match, RCB jersey. There has to be at least one RCB jersey in and around the stadium. Vaibhav also joins us from Bengaluru. Vaibhav, how was it last night, and what are your biggest positives from the tournament? We talked about RCB, the team as a unit. Maybe Bharat did not mention one player, I think, who missed out on an individual award, but I think he was the silent player of the tournament for RCB. That is Bhuvneshwar Kumar. 28 wickets,
I
economy rate
mentioned
of
it only in a footnote. Yeah, I could have
yes.
added it.
Uh, yeah. 28 wickets, economy rate of less than 8. He had a tremendous season. So special for me, I think he has to be RCB's player of the tournament. The way he bowled throughout the tournament, only twice in 17 matches that he went up more than 40 runs in a game. Once 41, I think, and one more than 50. So excellent tournament for Bhubi as well. But Weber, what your namesake also picked up quite a few awards last evening. He had a dream tournament, 770 plus runs at a strike rate of 237. I think individual per se, Vaibhav Suryavanshi has to be the biggest positive from this tournament.
Definitely, it has to be. And if you look at from the start when IPL started, a lot of players have come in. A lot of players have won player of the tournaments, not just one, twice, multiple times. But I think this year, the way Vaibhav Suryavanshi batted at 15, if you are winning a player of the tournament of the biggest and the most, toughest T20 league in the world, that tells you that what kind of player that guy is. A lot of people are calling him supernova, wonder boy, wonder kid. A lot of adjectives, like we are short of adjectives to describe how what kind of player Vaibhav Suryavanshi is, what he has become, and it is just 1 year. He's made his IPL debut last year against LSG. From there, he scored a century against GT, and then there was a talk like, okay, we have seen the flashes of brilliance, but what about the consistency? Can he be consistent? Was the biggest question after he showed that what he has, what powers he has in in those limited set of matches. But then he went back to domestic cricket, played for Bihar. He was appointed as the vice captain of Bihar and, played for India A as well in the Rising Asia Cup, which was led by Jitesh Sharma. There also he scored a century. And then to carry that form into World Cup, obviously he didn't had a great start to the World Cup. He was struggling, but then when came the business end of the tournament, he brought his A game and then won the tournament, won the player of the tournament there as well, and then won the player of the tournament IPL as well. So that tells you what kind of last 1 year has been very special for Vaibhav Suryavanshi. But the biggest takeaway from from somebody like Vaibhav, people can be people, especially at that age when you are that young, you can get complacent, but it never seems like there is scope of complacency when it comes to Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Every time he steps in, you see a different version. The last innings that he played the most number of deliveries in an IPL innings for him. So that tells you that with every innings he's gaining experience, he's becoming more mature. Already he's mature ahead of his years. He's already ahead of his years. But that has to be the highlight of the story. That has to be a highlight of this per whole season. Obviously, we all are celebrating RCB's win, how they have won back to back. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Virat Kohli again, but the season story has to be Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the way he's been batting, and it's just good to see that he's been consistent. It's about at this age, when people talk about go out and play, and you can get out in a format like T20, he's being consistent. He has consistently scored 700 plus runs. That means you are consistent. So I think best thing to happen to Indian cricket at this point, because as we were talking, MS has already retired. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma at the fag end of their careers. Yes, you have Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, but to have a dynamic player like Vaibhav Suryavanshi brings excitement back to the game. So yeah, good to see. But one player that, because RCB has won, I have to mention that player is obviously Razik Salam. How many of us expected Razik Salam, or the fans expected Razik Salam to end up with more wickets by the end of the season than Josh Hazelwood, than somebody like Josh Hazelwood, and he didn't even start in the playing 11. He was not the first choice player. It was Abhinandan Singh who started, and then for Razik Salam, even last night he took 3 wickets. And the best part is, even if he's getting hit, like Rashid Khan, Bharat sir was sitting next to me, Bharat was sitting next to me, and Rashid Khan hit him for the six. Next ball, I told him there is a bouncer coming. Next ball, he bowled a bouncer and got Rashid Khan out. So that tells you something about Razik Salam as well, that even if he gets it, he finds way to get out batters. I think the biggest positive from me, Bhuvneshwar has always been there, and last year also he performed. Josh Hazelwood, biggest takeaway from this season for me for RCB has been Rasik Salam.
Of course, and we did talk about Razik Salam. Bharat mentioned him in detail. Rohit, RCB, of course, as a unit, is a big positive. We talked about Vaibhav Suryavanshi also. What are your major positives from this tournament?
I think there are multiple. If you talk about RCB also, I think for me the biggest positive for RCB is the way they made their bench strength so amazing. With knowing that if you don't have a Phil Salt, you have a Jacob Bettel. If you don't even have a Jacob Bettel, then you have a Venkatesh Iyer. That gives you an idea that how they can use their resources. Uh, Ultimately, it's not about that, oh, this is a player who's there for a specific role. Ultimately, it's about that who can raise his hand up and make some kind of contribution, which you can say. Like, I don't think that anyone will talk about Venkatesh Iyer's performance as far as this particular season is concerned. But if you look at those numbers, that will tell you a story about what's going on at this point of time in RCB. It's not always about you're scoring 70, 80. For that, you have Rajat Patidar there, you have Devdutt Padikkal there. Even Devdutt Padikkal also, he didn't have many of the 50s. If you talk about his contribution going at number 3, you need 50 plus scores. From number 4 in T20 cricket, it's more about 30s, 40s, how many 30s, 40s you have. But till number 3, it is very much about how many 50s you have. But look at the contribution, look at the strike rate. He was playing with a strike rate of around 150 last year. His strike rate increases to 170 to 180. Similar thing have happened with Virat Kohli. Look at the strike rate of Virat Kohli. Best strike rate, uh, top performer as far as these 2 seasons are concerned, highest number of runs. So I think, and there are still players who are sitting out, and we haven't seen anything. I am a very big fan of Kanish Chauhan. I am a very big fan of Vihan Malhotra. Vicky Ostwal is there. Mangesh Yadav is there. I was saying it from the very first game that Mangesh, you have to go with Mangesh Yadav. And I'm not here to say that, oh, why don't they give any chance to Mangesh Yadav? But look at the kind of bench strength they have. They didn't have a Yash Dayal. They didn't have Thusara. They have a late start as far as Hazelwood is concerned. They have the backup in terms of Jacob Duffy. If not Jacob Duffy, then as you means what? As Weber rightly said, 12 innings, 19 wickets for Rashid Dar Salam. Look at that journey. And when RCB spent 6 crores on him, it was all over the social media. Oh, what are they doing? 10 crores, 70 likes for Bhuvneshwar Kumar, old Bhuvneshwar Kumar, a Bhuvneshwar Kumar which doesn't have a place in Indian team. SRH season fade away for him as far as SRH is concerned. Why you are giving him almost 11 crores? And why you are spending almost 18 to 20 crores on 2 bowlers who nobody have trust on? So I think when it comes down to the storyline of the RCB, it's more about what Andy Flower is doing there, what Dinesh Karthik is doing there. We already taken names. We did a show around that also, that how much this backroom staff have done it. So I think for me, if you talk about only RCB, and now this is the same kind of unit which we used to see with the CSK. In their peak years, this is how a CSK operates. This is how a MI operates during that 2013 to 2020 era.
Right.
And now means if RCB continues with this, I don't think they will take 7 or 8 years to win 5 titles. I think they will be in 6 to 7 years. They can bang it, if titles are concerned.
I think we were discussing it our in our post Hindi live yesterday that how this RCB's journey is very similar to Paris Saint-Germain's journey. Both have done it back to back. Champions League for PSG, IPL titles for RCB. PSG at one point had their three big players Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Similarly, RCB had Gale, ABD, and Virat Kohli, but none of them could win the trophy. PSG removed all three, won, lifted the Champions League back to back times, and now this RCB is doing the same without ABD and Chris Gale, and made a more comprehensive overall unit to lift to achieve this feat. Bharat, now let's talk a bit about the negative of the IPL. Of course, lots of controversies in this IPL season, lots of social media chatter. What is banter? What is not? Content creation, etc., etc. But if we talk about cricketing perspective, also this season made us see that the legacy teams, be it a Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings, Kolkata Knight Riders, they are no more the superpower that they used to be. There are other contenders, other fighters in this war who have entered and are serious players now. RCB is no more a pushover team. You look at SRH, you look at Rajasthan Royals, Gujarat Titans, another playoff finish, another runners up twice now. They have become runners up. So there are teams who are now pushing to come and go all the way in an IPL season. But these legacy teams, they maybe are falling behind in this race now, looking at their squad and looking at the way they are playing their cricket.
See, that is how I guess it works with any kind of competition over a period of time. Other teams also will come up. Yes, for a while, maybe for 8, 10, 12 years or whatever, even in different competitions, you will see winners, maybe couple of winners. Even if you look at tennis, for so long, the trio of Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic won everything. Now even Djokovic is losing. Obviously, he's 39, but even he has started to lose in second round, third round, occasionally at least. So that's an indicator that others are coming up, and the same goes with even the world of cricket or in the world of IPL. Yes, Chennai Super Kings, they're going through a transition with great respect. Also, you have to say that Chennai Super Kings had a lot of injuries, so they had to overcome a lot of injuries in times of transition. That is never easy. So I will give some credit to them. I think they put up a gritty performance despite all those injuries. And Mumbai Indians also will go through transition phase. Yes, there could be a lot of things happening behind the scenes. I understand that. But even if you look at the age factor in that Mumbai Indians setup, a lot of them are on the wrong side of 30. Even if you look at the fringe players like Shardul Thakur, like Deepak Chahar, even if you look at their foreigners, the Trent Bolts of the world, even Quinton de Kock is not a youngster anymore. So a lot of their players are on the wrong side of 30. So they will also go through transition phase. This is just something that will keep happening with any team. Even if you're going to win five times or 4 times or 3 times, after a while you will go through transition phase. You will have to find some new players, and I guess that's what is happening to these 2 3 teams. Hopefully they'll come back stronger. I'm pretty sure they will come back stronger because they have those support systems. They have strong support systems. You expect them to come back stronger, and that is basically a cycle with any sporting event or a tournament over a period of time, because you will keep seeing teams who are kind of bottom place teams suddenly becoming better, and those who are kind of winning titles, suddenly they will also go on a downhill path for a while.
Webber, for me, Punjab also had a very
One line I will
very
add
short.
just that. In that sense, it's unfortunate that Punjab Kings, Delhi Capitals aren't able to prove that cycle is that kind of cycle is hypothetical hypothesis is right, because they're still not able to win the title.
Yes, that's where I was coming for. For me, Webber, Punjab had a very shocking season. First half unbeaten, second half only one win. Missed out on the playoff scenario. a couple of weeks earlier, everyone was talking about Punjab Kings being this informed team, unbeatable team, and now suddenly they are out of the tournament. No one is talking about them. Yes, they won the Fair Play Award yesterday, but it would be a very highly disappointing season for Punjab Kings, for Delhi Capitals also, given how they started the tournament, and look at them missing out on playoff once again.
See, with Delhi, I'm not very surprised because last year also had the halfway mark. They were at the top of the points table and then they couldn't qualify. So
Punjab
obviously,
repeated Delhi's season from last year.
yeah, exactly. And I said it in the midweek only when mid-season we were discussing that the same thing can happen to Punjab Kings as well because it's not just about the players losing form at the wrong time, or it's not about just you team making a lot of mistakes. Even the captain not bowling Yuzvendra Chahal in a game, or some tactical errors in regards to the selection. But there were some extrinsic factors as well which are involved, and ultimately it comes down to the team environment as well. If the team environment is not good, players are not in a right frame of mind, that also that affects their performances. I think that had a big role because a lot of controversies, lot of chatter was around Punjab Kings, not the other team. So I think that definitely played a part. I don't think that a team which won 6 games in the first seven, went on to on a downward spiral and then lose another six on the bounce. So I think that definitely played a part because it happened after the first half only. In the second half, a lot of chatter was around Punjab Kings, around the players. So I think that happened. But having said that, if you compare it with an RCB, because obviously eventually RCB won the title, Punjab Kings also retained most of their players, which doesn't always go with Punjab Kings reputation. If you go over the years, it's Delhi Capitals, Punjab Kings, also RCB until last year. They were known for making a wholesale changes after every season, whether it's the team management, whether it's the players, but they retained most of the players like RCB did because obviously they were the runner-ups. Why they couldn't do it? Just because the players, again, came down to the individuals. Obviously, Shreyas scored, Prab Simran scored, Priyansh Arya. I think Priyansh Arya's weakness was found out at the wrong time. Priyansh Arya was doing really well, and then then the teams got to know that he's struggling against the bouncers. So they had the bouncer plan ready for him whenever he came on to bat. Then you had a bowling lineup where only Yuzvendra Chahal was taking wickets consistently, regularly. Otherwise, you were struggling in the power play overs. I think that if you don't have a good bowling group or informed bowling group, that definitely has an impact. Just compare RCB's bowling and Punjab's bowling. You will have more experience, international experience in Punjab's bowling group. But why didn't fire? Because they never, the players, the individual players, whether it's Arshdeep Singh, Marco Jansen, even Lockie Ferguson, these T20 season T20 campaigners couldn't perform to the expectations, and that's how that's where things went wrong for Punjab Kings. Batting, I think even in the second half they were doing well. It was about their bowling. Not always you will be able to chase a 260 plus or 220 plus. Even though Punjab has done it most of the time. So I think the bowling let them down big time. And also the extrinsic factors played a big part. So I think yes, Punjab Kings for them was a forgettable season. Not many expected this to happen with them. I think there will be a few changes going ahead in the next season. But yeah, I think it has to be a shocker given the squad they had, the experience they had, most of the players being retained from the last season. So very shocking season and the most disappointing season from Punjab Kings point of view.
Rohit, how do you sum up these teams this season who finished bottom half? Yesterday, I met a MI fan who was also watching the final on his phone, and he said, "I can't believe, मुझे विश्वास नहीं हो रहा है कि मैं हम लोग final में नहीं है इस बार जो team थी हमारी." So Mumbai fans were disappointed. Punjab fans, of course, had to be disappointed after the kind of start they had. DC again, a lot of issues within their squad, their selection, etc., etc. Chennai, lots of injuries there. So, how do you sum up these few teams who failed to qualify for the playoffs, and of course the the not so good side of an IPL season?
I think if you look at a common pattern between all of them, you look at a Punjab, you look at a Lucknow, you look at a Mumbai, you will see that there are certain things off the field also. It's not only which remains on the field. You look at a Mumbai, you heard a lot of reports around that, what the dressing room thing is
Mm.
Hardik Pandya and the other players, how are they doing at this point of time? Are they playing as a team? Is there a big question mark over there? There are reports, there are agencies doing this report that Hardik Pandya in middle of the tournament said this, he doesn't want to carry on with the captaincy. Similar thing have happened with Lucknow Super Giants. That Rishabh Pant said this, he doesn't want to carry on with the captaincy. In Punjab Kings, there are n number of factors. The social media team is obviously there. You take any kind of social media. I was listening to two of the these means these guys who are associated with two franchises as their content creators, and they were
Mm.
saying that there's only one team. They were saying it again cryptically, but all of them know that who are they actually talking about. And that's where the things come across, when you have obviously on the field. If you talk about on the field, I think it's only Chennai Super Kings, and that's because the kind of injuries you already mentioned, that 7 8 injuries in a season. Almost after a couple of games you need to change your combination. Ruturaj Gaikwad from one game to third game to fifth game to seventh game, he has a completely different kind of playing 11 altogether. And that's why I'm also hearing that there is nothing as far as his captaincy is concerned. I saw particular reports that claiming that Ruturaj Gaikwad will also lose his captaincy. But why? What I can assure at this point of time, there's no change as far as Chennai Super Kings captaincy is concerned.
Oh.
But the thing is, if you take out Chennai Super Kings or maybe a Kolkata Knight Riders also, Kolkata Knight Riders have different, at this point of time, they have different issues. Like with the captaincy thing, we all know that what's happening with the captaincy thing. And there are maybe a 3 4 player combination they have to sort it. And they are a damn good team. I'm very sure about it. And we said this multiple times in our lives also, that with KKR, it's not that big problem. With Chennai, again, it's not a big problem. It's a problem in front of LSG. It's a problem in front of MI. It's a problem in front of this Punjab. It's a problem in front of DC. Because I think with Delhi Capitals also, this 2 year contract, JSW GMR, JSW GMR, they will again have a different kind of team. We were hearing about this, that Rishabh Pant come back to Delhi Capitals. We were
Yes.
hearing a lot of things at this point of time. Then what will happen after 2 years, we have to see. So I don't think that this is a very solid idea to run a team, but let's see what happens. And that you can see in the results also. There are multiple things which are going at this point of time. So I think for a team like Punjab, for a team like Mumbai, for a team like LSG, Delhi, they need to sort out their off the field things also. And if they able to sort out the off the field things, you'll definitely see these teams will do better, I think, as far as their combination is concerned. So yeah, I think BCCI will definitely, from the next year, before next year's IPL, it will be, I think, very strict as far as guidelines are concerned, because this particular season there were multiple things we have seen happen, and not good for the image repo of IPL and also of BCCI, because it's a BCCI runs tournament. So I think there will be some strict calls. There is already a 7 page advisory, in between that RCB MI game midnight, almost midnight, 11:30 p.m. in the night. So yeah, I think there will be some different changes, and let's see now where will this impact player rule ends, because Sachin Tendulkar is a we all know the biggest voice in Indian cricket, and he said in that ESPN program that it needs to be revoked, the impact player rule. And Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, everyone said about that. So let's see where we are going as far as new rules in IPL is concerned.
Maybe one more season of impact player rule, and then you might see this rule go away. And I think that would be for the betterment of Indian cricket. You will find a lot more all rounders. The value of all rounders will increase again. And IPL is such a tournament where you can keep on going and going about what are the positives and negatives from the tournament. Of course, Rishabh Pant and Lucknow Super Giants parting ways as the captain and the franchisee. I think that has to be one of the talking points of the tournament. There are many things where you can go on and talk about. You can see the younger guards coming up, the unknown players, of course, the lesser known players taking. Vaibhav Suryavanshi was the highlight of this, but you saw many such players, be it Saqib Hussain, Praful Hinge, and many other players who came up and took took that responsibility and showcased their talent on the biggest stage. So IPL continues to surprise us. What's next for IPL? Whether you want to see, whether you will see any changes or not, there's a complete comprehensive interview with IPL chairman Arun Dhumal uploaded on across our platform, so you can go there and go and check that out. That's a very detailed interview around IPL, whether we'll see a September October window, whether that's a possibility, more matches, 94, 96 matches in a season, what's going on with impact player rule, a lot of things which Arun Dumal has detailed in that interview. So check that out as well. But this review series will continue. This is just one bit of the review series. So for the next couple of days, you will see lot more stuff coming your way as the IPL season concludes, be it the positive, be it the negative, pick of the tournament, highlights, etc., etc. So stay tuned to Rev Sports. The international calendar also begins, so the focus will slowly shift towards the Test cricket, Test series, Test match between India and Afghanistan. Trisha is already there for the women's series against England in the UK, so the coverage from there is also on. And of course, a few days later, Commonwealth Games and other stuff from Olympic sport will also come up, and content wise sports continue. So stay tuned to Rev Sports, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends for more. Thank you so much for now.
Thank you.